Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the digital asset investor, and iTrustCapital, one of my partners, just added Dash, if that's your thing. I'm just an XRP guy right now, but a lot of you out there might be into different tokens, and they just added Dash. If you haven't opened an account yet, by the way, they just opened it up. You can get a $100 funding bonus just by going to my page here, iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army. And it will, then you just click sign up to get started. You can get the $100 funding bonus with IRA or premium custody account. You get free institutional custody when you go there, and sleep soundly. Don't worry about all these crypto hacks and all that anymore. I don't. XRP, we had a little pullback in everything, not anything major, 245 right now. Okay, last night John Deaton has announced that he's running for Senate in Massachusetts against Ed Markey. I'm not going to play the whole thing, I'll just play a clip.
Thank you. Listen, thank you all for being here on this special night, and boy is it special day. 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. Do I got any devil dogs in the house tonight? Happy birthday, Marines, Simplify. Now tomorrow is even a bigger day because it's not just limited to the Marine Corps. We honor our veterans who served their country. So indulge me. If you are a veteran, raise your hand so you can be honored.
So anyway, you know John Deaton is the pro-crypto candidate. He's pro-Bitcoin. He's pro-XRP. I think he says he holds more Bitcoin than anything. But this is who he's running against, just so all of you know. The entire crypto space should get behind John Deaton because Ed Markey is buddies with Senator Elizabeth Warren. I'm sure he's one of the anti-crypto army members.
Bitcoin was the first ever crypto asset, and it relies on a process known as proof of work mining. Crypto miners use large banks of computers that suck up huge amounts of energy to run computations and are awarded new Bitcoins as a result. Every 10 minutes, a miner will generate Bitcoins, a reward that are currently worth nearly $140,000. As the value of Bitcoin increases, there is more incentive to run more computers, consume more energy, and mine more Bitcoins.
And then here he is calling for the Bitcoin code to be changed.
So, Mr. Altenberg, could Bitcoin change its code to save substantial amounts of energy?
Well, Ethereum certainly did that, switch from proof of work to proof of stake. Whether or not Bitcoin itself can arrange to do that, that would remain to be seen, but it's certainly possible.
It is possible. So if it is possible, and it's more energy efficient, and it gets the same result, they could move in that direction.
You get the picture. Any of you Bitcoiners, you might want to throw in behind John Deaton. And here's a good illustration I put out just so you know. Elizabeth Warren, this is when she was building the anti-crypto army. There's her buddy Gary Gensler. And here's her buddy Ed Markey. They're all on the same page. And here, this is where Gary Gensler donated to Ed Markey. That, to me, is evidence enough to throw everybody in crypto to throw their weight behind John Deaton. Here's where you can donate. Go to johndeatonforsenate.com. And by the way, my understanding is that John Deaton's going to be at XRP Las Vegas. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, they just went live, xrplasvegas.com. It's going to be on April 30th through May 1st at the Paris Casino. Ripple's a sponsor. Paul Barron Network is a sponsor. I think he'll have a booth there. And here we go. The government shutdown is coming to an end, and you know what that means.
Just unbelievable. Well, look, when the government finally reopens this week, we're expecting Congress can take on the Clarity Act, the long-awaited crypto market regulation bill, bipartisan talks reportedly resuming in the Senate. Mr. Chairman, what can you tell us? Because no doubt a reopening is good for financial services and for crypto as well, right?
You bet, because we have pending before the Congress a National Defense Authorization Bill trying to repair the ag damage to our economy from no farm bill during the Biden administration, no Biden enforcement of the Chinese soybeans deal. We need an ag bill, and that's another reason to open to Congress. But you're right. We've made progress during September and October on market structure for digital assets. The Clarity Act, which we passed with 78 Democrats in the House back in July, is now subject of intensive work in the Senate by both Senate Democrats and Republicans on the Banking Committee and on the Senate Agriculture Committee. They're making strong progress, and I hope we can conclude that in coming days. It's been hurt by the shutdown, so I'm looking forward to working with them and getting it across the floor and to President Trump's desk.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to get that. And then, of course, this week, this is Stephen McClurg from Canary Capital. I think it's Canary Capital. They're supposed to be launching their Canary XRP ETF this week, so he was on Paul Barron to speak about it. This could be huge, folks. Listen to what he says.
When you look at the flow that we've seen with Solana, the BSOL, Bitwise did a great job getting that one out on the ground. And absolutely crazy numbers. One of the best performing ETFs that we've seen so far, especially in digital assets. How do you think these XRP ETFs will perform against that?
Yeah, I actually think that XRP will probably double what Solana did in its first week and even today, as far as volume and as far as total AUM. If you just even look at the market caps of the two tokens, XRP is about 50% higher than Solana. Yeah. But the difference is, and we experienced this with HBAR last week or 2 weeks ago now, the HBAR ETF experienced $70 million in inflows just in the first 3 days. And it's because it's really well known among institutional circles and enterprise investors. Yeah. So even though it's not a big retail product, it doesn't have a ton of volume, it's got the right kind of interest. And that's how XRP is. Solana is probably a little bit more of a retail token. XRP is much more of a
cartoon monkey token,
financial services, enterprise, institutional token. And when you put that into an ETF, even though it's only 50% more market cap, it'll probably be 100% or 200% more inflows because of the institutional audience.
Going to be a big week possibly here. Okay, no, this is huge. This is huge for all of us, folks. Imagine a world, I mean, to this day, you haven't been able to point to your crypto holdings and use that to get a mortgage. We're about to enter a world where you can. And this clip, to me, is very important.
Joining us now, Scott Melker, the market analyst and host of Wolf of All Streets. Now, Scott, thanks for taking the time to be with us. You know, we're talking about the Trump administration saying that they would reportedly like to have crypto as a way to serve as collateral for your mortgage going forward. If this were to come to fruition, how much of a game changer would this be for both crypto holders and the housing market?
I don't even need to speak anecdotally. I can say what it would be for me, who's pursued a mortgage many times with the bulk of my net worth in crypto and unable to have it count towards my net worth when doing so. This is really a massive game changer for the 15% of Americans who hold crypto, many of them who say that Bitcoin is their largest holding entirely. Really, this is just welcome to the 21st century because this is so obvious. The mortgage lenders know exactly how to haircut volatile stocks. Bitcoin is now less volatile than most of the Mag 7 and large tech stocks. And just being able to show that you own it and have it counted as part of your net worth is so obvious. I don't think that there's any risk to this. I think that this is just a natural evolution alongside the mainstream adoption of crypto.
I 1000% agree with that. Now, check this out. This is another clip from the BlackRock. He's like a managing director now, but he was at Ripple, as you know.
it's hard to imagine a world where not even stable coins have significant adoption, because already today it's 300 billion in market cap, right? And that's in a pretty high interest rate environment, which is remarkable, right? So the stablecoin value proposition, this ability to move money around the world in near real time at near zero cost between any two people with a smartphone to get access the world over to digital US dollars, which many billions of people around the world have shown a clear desire to be able to have that access. That horse has left the barn, and it's just a question of how fast and how broadly adopted across other domains do stablecoins get. Whether we're talking about, retail remittances, which are massively inefficient today, cross-border payments for corporate multinationals, which have, lots of frictions and costs associated with them, and maybe more ambitiously, financial market settlement activities. So subscribing and redeeming from funds in stablecoins, settling trades in stablecoins, processing corporate actions, margin and collateral in stablecoins. So lots of pretty exciting applications for it. That, I think, is the bear. If that's the bear case for tokenization, it's actually not.
Okay, we're going to go into the group. It's daixrp.com. That's the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click join below any of these videos. If you'd rather join through X, hit subscribe. We do the full video plus the extended video with no commercials in there. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe. Hit the like button. Tell your friends and family. Here we go. All right, Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems. And we will consider reforms to unleash the awesome power of the American capital markets. Americans deserve a financial services industry that works for all Americans, including and especially Main Street.
There you go. You can see what's coming. Now, I don't know what CNBC is up to, but they tweeted this out. Ripple Labs is conquering crypto, which means XRP conquering crypto. Now the XRP linked firm wants to take on traditional finance. This was always how it was going to happen, folks. And then Phil Kwok in the Financial Times, the trick to being a multi-billionaire is having zero liquidity. This is so bullish for crypto. The tokenization of every asset will give every billionaire access to instant liquidity. This will bring trillions into crypto, and it's not just the ultra rich who want this. Everyone will. Everyone will want the tokenized asset, because everything else is only second best. Crypto will no longer play second fiddle to TradFi. Folks, I just used the example of tokenized real estate. Imagine a world. So right now, let's say you own a rental house. If you want to sell that rental house right now, you have to find a buyer, probably hire a realtor, and then once they go out and find a buyer, then you got to go to a closing table. You got to go through that whole process and hope that it closes and all that. Imagine a world, and a better question is this. What's more valuable, a rental house where you have to go through that process, or a rental house that you've tokenized that's now a liquid investment that people all around the globe could invest in? I believe that real estate that's tokenized is going to start selling at a premium to real estate that's not tokenized. And I think that'll go for all assets, because liquidity matters, and the ability to be able to get in and out of investments quickly matters. And I think that's the world that we're going to, and I think that's the point that Phil Kwok is making here. Where we're going, we don't need roads, folks. Thanks for listening.